And then came, obviously, the PR blunder. When people say too much, almost, in trying to debunk something when they pretend like they don't even understand English words for it.
Probably still wouldn't know who Erika Kirk was, you know what I mean? Like, I had watched multiple Charlie Kirk videos of him debating. I agreed with him on a lot of things. There were things I disagreed with.
Y'all, she's showing us what she thinks emotional distress looks like because she needs us to feel like she's suffering. She needs us to believe that she's suffering so much.
So things are getting extremely ugly inside TPUSA right now because someone connected to the organization just dragged Thomas Massie's late wife through the mud for no good reason. And at this point, it looks like their fans will stoop to any depths to protect Erika, even if it means speaking ill of the dead or attacking a grieving widower. But the thing that's really making this feel like TPUSA finally crossed the line is that, according to reports, it's not like TPUSA fans are just acting alone. These so-called fans are reportedly people on the organization's payroll, whose only job is to start and push a smear campaign targeted at anyone who even dares to call Erika or TPUSA leadership out. And the worst part is that allegedly, those orders came directly from the top. And y'all already know Erika herself is the one sitting in that office right now. But people are still asking, was this just reckless social media behavior? Or is there someone behind the scenes who really wanted Thomas Massie publicly destroyed for refusing to fall in line?
I'm just going to say one thing about all the people who are mocking Erika Kirk for leaving the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night crying, is that you guys are playing a very dangerous game with God to a level that I don't even think you can fathom.
So, before people even started debating internal TPUSA politics, this whole thing turned personal after one account on Twitter decided to drag Thomas Massie's late wife into the middle of the conversation for absolutely no reason. The account shared a screenshot of a post from Randy Barnett where he posted a photo of himself having dinner with Massie, and instead of just criticizing Massie politically, the person added this insanely aggressive caption attacking him over the death of his wife. They wrote, "Thomas Massie's wife died on June 27, 2024, and by July 12th, he was in Las Vegas partying it up, but you will never see the woke right treat him like they treat Erika Kirk. Your wife just died and you go to Las Vegas? What the?" And people immediately reacted because the post felt completely out of pocket. Like, you don't even have to agree with Massie politically to see that they had crossed a line. Now, at first, some people assumed this was just another random rage bait account trying to farm engagement. But then users started digging through the account's older posts, and that's when the situation started looking way weirder. Because the account had a pattern. Almost every time somebody publicly criticized Erika Kirk, the account would jump in attacking that person in an extremely aggressive way. Now people were openly wondering whether the account was connected to somebody inside Erika's circle, or worse, whether the person was being encouraged behind the scenes to target her critics. Because once people started connecting those dots, the backlash exploded fast. And that's when old screenshots tied to Erika's supporters suddenly started resurfacing too. And honestly, this is why so many people believe that tweet did not just come out of nowhere. If you've been watching everything surrounding Erika Kirk over the last few months, there's been a very obvious pattern anytime somebody starts publicly questioning her or demanding answers connected to Charlie Kirk's death. As you guys probably know, Erika has built an extremely loyal support system around herself, including TPUSA figures like Andrew Colvett, who immediately jumps into attack mode anytime Erika faces even the smallest amount of scrutiny online. But apparently, it goes way beyond a few friends defending somebody they care about, because there are entire accounts across social media that seem fully dedicated to protecting Erika's image, while aggressively insulting anyone asking questions about Charlie's death. And after a while, people started noticing that the same talking points, the same insults, and even the same defenses kept appearing over and over again. Now that alone already had people suspicious. But then Candace Owens started publicly accusing Erika of allegedly running coordinated PR campaigns behind the scenes to manipulate public perception. Candace repeatedly claimed there were efforts being made to distort information, attack critics, and basically control every conversation connected to Charlie's death before it could spiral out of control. And what made those accusations hit even harder was the fact that articles like this immediately started appearing online defending Erika while framing Candace as the villain. Some headlines were extremely blunt too, with titles like "Candace Owens attacks Erika Kirk for clout. Don't fall for it." So people started asking whether this was organic support or a carefully managed media strategy designed to protect Erika's image at all costs. Because if there's nothing to hide, why does it feel like every conversation surrounding Charlie's death immediately turns into a full-scale online war? And this is where the situation really started spiraling. Because the moment that tweet about Thomas Massie's late wife started going viral, people immediately fact-checked it. And within no time, the post got hit with a community note correcting the entire narrative. The note explained that the photo being used against Massie was actually taken at Freedom Fest 2024, which had reportedly been scheduled months before his wife even passed away. So the implication that he had randomly run off to Las Vegas to party right after losing his wife was already falling apart publicly in real time. But here's the thing that made people even angrier. The person behind the tweet did not back down at all after getting corrected. They didn't delete the post. They didn't clarify anything. Instead, they doubled down in the replies and kept insulting people who tried pointing out the actual timeline. And that's when the entire tone online shifted from "this is messy" to "okay, something weird is going on here." And then the replies started getting brutal. Users began accusing the account of acting like a paid attack dog. And one tweet that spread especially fast simply said, "I hope your shekels are worth it." And honestly, that comment alone tells you how suspicious people had become of the account's behavior at that point. And this is the part that has people even more suspicious now. Because despite all the screenshots, the coordinated behavior accusations, and the non-stop attacks coming from accounts aggressively defending Erika Kirk, Erika has done nothing except keep shifting the goalposts every single time the conversation starts cornering her. Instead of directly addressing why so many accounts behave like a digital defense squad for her, the narrative somehow always flips back into Erika being the victim of some giant conspiracy against her. And according to people watching this unfold online, that pattern has started becoming impossible to ignore. In fact, Erika recently went on a long emotional rant where she basically framed herself as the person being unfairly targeted by everybody else. And one of the biggest things people focused on was her explanation for attending the White House Correspondents' Dinner. According to Erika, the entire reason she went was because she wanted to confront journalists she believed were writing smear articles about her.
Everyone is asking why I even went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And it was because many of the journalists in that room have attempted to dehumanize me, and I wanted to meet some of them face to face, quite frankly. Why have a conversation about me when you can have a conversation with me?
Now, that immediately caught people's attention because when viewers actually started searching articles connected to the controversy, a lot of the coverage online already seemed heavily sympathetic toward Erika. And as you can see, most headlines painted her as somebody being harassed, attacked, or unfairly targeted by internet gossip and conspiracy theories. So critics started asking, if the media is supposedly smearing her so aggressively, why do so many stories already seem written in her favor? And then she directly brought up Candace Owens again, accusing Candace of orchestrating a smear campaign against her personally, which only poured gasoline on the entire situation because, as you guys probably know, Candace has been one of the loudest voices publicly questioning the narrative surrounding Charlie Kirk's death. So to a lot of viewers, Erika's rant did not feel like somebody calmly defending themselves. It felt like somebody trying to get ahead of the backlash before more people started connecting uncomfortable dots online. And now, this whole situation has spiraled into territory that honestly nobody inside TPUSA probably wanted people discussing publicly. Because at this point, more and more people online are no longer just arguing about mean tweets, PR campaigns, or coordinated attacks. They're starting to ask a much darker question. Why does it feel like there is so much pressure to control every conversation surrounding Erika Kirk aggressively? Because, as you guys probably know, a lot of people were never fully convinced by the official narrative surrounding Charlie Kirk's death in the first place. So what? A lone gunman goes rogue in broad daylight, supposedly confesses everything to friends and a partner afterward, and then somehow gets turned in by his own father? To a lot of people, the entire sequence feels almost too neat. Now, whether those suspicions are fair or not, the bigger issue is that the more people feel like conversations are being shut down, redirected, or aggressively managed, the more suspicious they become. Because people are asking why there seems to be this non-stop effort from certain TPUSA figures and Erika's supporters to immediately attack, isolate, or publicly destroy anybody who starts questioning the narrative. Now, people are wondering what happens if the pressure campaign stops working. Because if more insiders start talking, or if more screenshots and private messages leak out, this could turn into a massive problem for TPUSA leadership very fast.